Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? Thank you. Good morning. I hope you can listen to me. I request anyone to please unmute yourself and acknowledge.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Good morning, sir. You're perfectly audible,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Good, good. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for joining this session. And we will be starting within maybe 3-5 minutes. So that let's wait for everyone to join. And yeah.
HTML शुरू कितना होंदी है पता एलिमेंट्स लिखते हैं बस हेड नॉट रिलेटिंग अगर है ना लिखती
I welcome all the participants of this workshop on mastering DevOps. And let's wait for another 3-4 minutes to formally start this session. Thank you. Let's wait for 2 minutes. I will exactly start at 10:05. Okay, let's start this session. I welcome everyone for this Mastering DevOps workshops. Thanks for participating and attending in this workshop. Your participation is really important for us. And yeah, it's nice to see a lot of faces. Ajay Sharma ji, namaskar. Kapil Prashar ji, namaskar. So thanks for
So,
joining.
Namaskar, good morning, Prateek.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks for joining. Yeah. So let's start with our workshop. So in the beginning, I will start few of the rules for this Zoom session. So I know that it's very tough to ask these days to ask the students to switch on your videos, but I request everyone to please switch on your videos. It help you to uh, keep yourself engaged, and it help us to make our session more interactive and engaging. So if possible, please keep your video always in on. But if you are traveling or just attending, so then it's okay to keep your videos off. But most of the time, please try to be whenever you are attending these sessions, please try to keep your videos on, and it helps us to communicate better. So we have now a lot of participants. So yeah, good. Thank you. I request everyone to please switch on your videos so that we can see each other faces and at least we can say hi to each other. Yeah. Second, it's very important to ask the questions in betweens because it helps us to promote two-way communication and it helps to clear the doubts. This is a workshop where we have students from 40 plus institutes. So this is a wonderful opportunity to build the community. So I strongly encourage each one of you to discuss your ideas, issues on the WhatsApp group, also during chat box or during the sessions. So we are building the community, and the purpose is to keep this community engaged in future too. So it's just not about 4 or 5 sessions. We wish to keep this community as a keep on going activity where we will work together to build some interesting projects. And yeah, so please be professional during the Zoom discussions. So whenever you ask to unmute, please unmute and ask the question, but otherwise don't disturb the sessions which are going on. And another important point, it's always better to take the notes. So I recommend everyone to keep your notebook and pen with you so that you can note down all those important points which are important and new to you. So if you are not carrying your notebook and pen, you can take a minute and go and collect your notebook and pen. So I'm pausing at this point for 30 seconds and I request everyone to have notebooks and pen with you. So now let's discuss our plan, the outline for this workshop. So this is our first session. The objective of this session is to discuss what is Agile, why we require Agile and DevOps. And I also briefly discuss about version control system. So we will discuss about software development lifecycle, the importance of waterfall model, problems and issues in waterfall models, and why we are shifting from waterfall model to Agile and DevOps. I will also touch about the distribution version control system with Git and GitHub, And in this session, my plan is to divide this session into two parts. The first part of this session is to discuss the concepts of system development lifecycle, waterfall model, its issues, and the advantage we have with Agile. And then in the second part of this session, that will be completely hands-on, where I will discuss how to create a repository in your GitHub account. And we will discuss the importance of branches and how we can use merge, how we can use pull and merge request, handle pull and merge request in GitHub. So basically, this is first introductory session where we try to set up the pace for all the aspects. For each session, I will be giving you the presentations in the end, and also there will be some homework based on some hands-on for Git and GitHub. So yeah, and I will be giving you a lab manual at the end of each session, which help you to just follow the steps, and that will help you to perform all the required experiments related with Git and GitHub. So I will be giving you lab manual for Git, GitHub, and Docker, and also the presentations related with Agile, DevOps, GitHub, and Docker. So yeah, these are the resources I will be sharing with all of you on our WhatsApp group. In session two, which will be our next week's session, and in this we will be discussing more on DevOps. So in the second part, we move from Agile to DevOps. So we discuss that, and we also discuss some advanced GitHub and GitHub workflows. So particularly in the second session, we will discuss Git commands and the forking and cloning of various projects. In third session, we will be starting with Dockers and containers. So first, we will discuss why we require Docker and containers. We discuss how to install Docker, how we can create the images, and running and managing of those containers. So in one session, we try to complete all those aspects, and that will be session three. And session four will be on building and deploying with Docker. So in this, we will discuss how to write Docker files, how to create image. Uh, I will also discuss how we can manage multiple container applications with Docker Compose. We will also understand how we can deploy the applications. And in the end, we will able to understand and appreciate continuous integration and continuous deployment principles, how they are helpful in the overall software development lifecycle. So I'm planning at present four session, but based on your response, we can extend it maybe to one more session, because it's very important to cover each and every topic properly so that you should able to understand uh, what are important technological aspects. And most important part, since this is a hands-on workshop, so I wish that everyone should able to implement all those tasks which are our goals. So if it is required, we will extend it to another week based on how we make progress in this particular course. So these are the workshop guidelines, and I'm very happy to tell you all that we have participants from 40 plus institutes. I welcome all of you. I just collected the name of the institutes which we have, and we have the participants from all across the world. So we have the participants from Thapa, which is also my parent institutes. We have professors and students from Amritsar Group of College, DAV College Amritsar, which is also my uh, parent institute from where I have started. We have students from IIT Kharagpur, Chitkara University, Guru Nanak Dev University, and these are different institutes which from where we have, and you can see that we have students from all across India. We have students from University of Kashmir, Punjab University. We have students from Ghaziabad, Jind, Bathinda, Amity University, PEC, and SGT University. We have students from Punjabi University, Sharda University, LPU, and of course, we have student and professor from PCTE, Ludhiana. And along with that, we also have international participants. We have participants from Whitman College, Walla Walla, which is my previous college where I worked for 2 years. We have students from Eastern Washington University, Spokane. We have participants from UK. We have participants from Australia, and even we have participants from industry, which include industries like Oracle, TCS, and Gate USA. So yeah, I'm very happy that we have participants from all across the world and particularly all across India. And I hope that this particular platform give us enough opportunity to interact and engage with students from various platform, and it will be useful to build some useful project at the end of this workshop. So this is just a beginning of community building process, and I hope that we will able to achieve all those objective through 4 or 5 sessions. And yeah, so now let's briefly discuss about me, myself, Prateek. Most of you may know me already, but otherwise, those who are new to uh, me, I'm actually professor at the Department of Computer Science and Engineering and former Associate Dean of Student Affairs at Thapar Institute. I was active at Thapar from 2004 to 2020. Then in 2020, I shifted to Tel Aviv University, and I worked there as a visiting professor from 2020 to 2022. In 2022, I shifted to USA and joined Whitman College as a visiting professor, and I was there from last 2 years. I started my academic career from DAV College Amritsar, and I served that institute from 1998 to 2004. I have authored few books. One of the book is Data Mining and Data Warehousing, which is from Cambridge University Press. Another textbook is on database management system. Uh, in next month, maybe my this book on machine learning with Python will be available in the market. I am working on this book from last 4 years, and now this is in press. So I have also created 7 online Udemy courses, also running YouTube channel. Of course, this session is also live on this YouTube channel, and I have conducted 50 plus FDP and workshops. So with this, um, these are the books which I have authored. Some of the books are on Kindle platform too, and you can read more about me at my website prateekbhatia.com. So, yeah, so now with this introduction, it's the time to start this session. If in the beginning you have any question, any doubt, you can unmute yourself and I will be happy to take 1 or 2 questions at this point. Yeah, please. Thank you. So let's start our discussion on um, waterfall model. Since you know that this is an open workshop where we have participants from various backgrounds. So some of students may already be familiar with maybe waterfall model, Agile, GitHub. So I try to cover everything so that we can have everyone on the same page. So it's very important to have everyone on the same page. So if you already know the concept, just bear with us and try to refresh those concept. But yeah, if this is completely new to you, just take appropriate notes and make it sure you understand everything very clearly. So I will go very slowly. I will not be any rush. So at any point, if something is not clear to you, I request you to please unmute and ask the question. Asking the question is very important. It will help you to clear your doubt. Not only it will help you to clear your doubt, but it also helps to clear other doubts. And of course, it will keep our session engaged and it help you to build more confidence. So please, if the topic is new, you have some questions, don't hesitate to ask the question. And I'm assuming that student has no prerequisite knowledge about those concepts. So I'm starting everything from scratch, but I will try to cover the basics, and I may not be going too much in details because you know that we have to cover all those things within 4 or 5 sessions. So with this background, let's start with waterfall approach. So waterfall is a model which we used for software development lifecycle. So whenever we have to build a software, it follows some practice, it follows some phases. And one approach, one model is waterfall approach. And this approach follows 5 or 6 phases. So it starts with requirements. So of course, whenever we have to develop a software, we have to collect the requirements. Once we completely understand the requirement, we shift to another phase, second phase, that is about designing the architecture. It includes designing databases, it includes designing class diagrams, use cases. So we start creating the architecture of the system. You can think that like that way. Let's suppose we have to build a house. So first step will be to understand the requirements. What are the requirements of the client? Once you understood the requirement, then you build the architecture of that house, and then finally you start uh, creating the building. So that way we also follow the same approach. So first we collect the requirements, then we design the architecture of the system. Once this architecture is ready, then we move to third phase, and that phase is actually implementation. We started the code implementation based on the design, and we divide the whole system into small modules and start developing those modules independently. So there, if the project is large, there may be 5 or 6 teams working independently on various modules. So finally we need to integrate that system together. So there is a phase called as integration phase. Once we completed the integration, we form the testing of our system, and finally we deploy the system. So it's just like following the water from one phase to another phase. And once we complete one phase, then we move to second phase. Once we complete second phase, we move to third phase, and so on. So water actually move from top to bottom, and it's very tough to move from bottom to top. So this is the, you can say, the problem in the waterfall model is that the let's suppose there is a problem identified during testing. So we have to make changes maybe in the code. There may be some changes in the design. So going back and make changes in the previous models, previous phases, is very costly in waterfall approach, and that is the major issue which we are targeting. And you can see that we will reach the deployment stage only after following all the phases. So it means that the product will reach to the client at a very late stage, because we have to follow all these phases. And once everything is designed, once everything is tested, then only deployment stage occurs. And you can assume that once that product is given to client and client say that, oh, this is not what I want, so then you can understand that the problem in this model, that let's suppose we have to make changes in some code or design, so that is very, very costly in this waterfall approach. And the product will delivered to client at very later stages. And you can also assume that, let's suppose we are at testing and there is some change in the requirements. It's very, very tough to incorporate those changes when we are at testing phase or integration phase. So yeah, so these are separate compartmentized system, where after moving from completing one phase, we move to second phase. And this is the traditional waterfall approach which we follow for years for building that software process. But in recent time, we feel that this is a very tight coupling, and it is very tough to make changes in this process. So we evolve with agile development process and DevOps process, which can make changes and delivery of product more fast and quickly for the clients. So let's go a little bit deep in this waterfall approach. So this is one of the earliest and most straightforward process which we follow. And as I mentioned, this is a linear sequential approach where each phase must be completed before the next phase begin, with no overlapping and no iterating of step. So this phase is used for building the processes. So first phase is collecting the requirements, understanding what are the requirement of the customers. Then we move to the second phase, that is designing. As I told you, it is just like building the design of the architecture. And then we create those documents, architectural diagrams. Here we called it as UML diagrams, diagrams, user face layout. And then we start the implementation phase, that is actually the coding phase, where we write the source code for all those design documents. And once we have all those smaller modules ready, we perform integrations and testing, and then we deploy that model. And once the model is deployed, we keep on maintaining that system. So
There are few advantages of this approach, of course, that is simple and easy, well defined, with milestone, easy to manage, suitable for stable requirements. But there are some strong disadvantages for this approach, and you can see that the first disadvantage is lack of flexibility. I hope you will appreciate that waterfall model cannot accommodate changes easily, because once you are at testing phase, you can't say that there is a change in the requirement. And the second is delayed testing, because testing will start once everything is ready. So there is a delayed testing. If there are some problems which you able to identify at testing, it may be very late. And of course, it require long lead times. And the teams are working in silos, mean that once we complete one phase, then we move to second phase, then we move to third phase. And practical situation, it may happen that when the project is at the deployment stage, the team which is working, the team that worked on design phase may move to some another project. So you can see that they are working in silos. So once requirement is completed, then design team is involved, then coding team is involved, and every team is working independently. And it's very difficult to move the data, move this water in the upward direction. So these are the problems of this waterfall approach. And the major idea is that in a recent industry development process, you see that we want very quick deployment. We want that our versions or some uh, features will be added very quickly to our software, because the market is very competitive, and don't delay we don't want to delay our product. So that's why we move from waterfall model to agile. And then actually we move also from agile to DevOps. So in this session, I will discuss why we move from waterfall to agile, and I will discuss what are the main components in this agile development process. But at this point, I will pause for your questions. If you have any questions related with discussion on waterfall model at this point, you can ask me any question. Yeah, please. Yeah, I'm not reading your chat, so it's better if you can ask the question by unmuting yourself. Otherwise, okay, I will also read. Yeah, if you have any question, please unmute and you can ask the question.
Sir, is there any alternative of a waterfall model?
Yeah, so of course there are multiple moduling models which are used for designing the software development, and Agile is also one of the model which is an alternative approach for this waterfall. So we are discussing Agile, which is also considered as one of the alternative approach or alternative models for software development life cycle. So I'm going to discuss that approach.
Excuse me, sir.
Thank you. So let's start. Yeah. Okay, so let's move to now our discussion on Agile.
Sir.
So, Agile is actually a project management approach that strive for flexibility, responsiveness, and delivery value to the customer more quickly. So it's all about flexibility. Flexibility means that requirement can change, design can change, and we should be responsive to all those changes. And in end, idea is to deliver the product quickly to the customer. So to deliver some value to the customer, if it is not the fully furnished end product, at least we should able to launch the beta version or some part of our module or some basic features of our product very quickly as compared to in a traditional waterfall model. So I hope you understand that in traditional waterfall approach, we map out entire year's work in advance, but Agile break down this project in small, manageable increments. So in Agile, we worked in a task of 15 days. So we are not thinking about 1 year timeline. So we are thinking about a small duration. So we have some deadlines at every 2 weeks. and we define the works on those small time frames, and that actually core for having those flexibility. So this iterative approach, that we continuously work in a feedback mechanism, we continuously adapt to the changing, this iterative approach is the core for Agile. So Agile is about defining the characteristics in an iterative nature. So instead of building everything at once, we focus on creating small functional pieces of the project. So I hope you were able to understand that major difference. Instead of building entire system at once, like in waterfall model, here we focus on creating small functional pieces of the project. And then we iterate over that. We add values after each iteration. We got immediate feedback after delivery of our first small piece of project. So we deliver it to our customer, we take its feedback, we take the feedback of customers, and then we can make small adjustment in our project. So this is just like a evolutionary development process that ensure that project evolve with time and we meet customer expectations. So I hope that you can take major takeaway from this, that it's about adaptive planning. As I mentioned, we just work on a time frame of 15 days, so it's adaptive planning. We able to deliver the small part of the project to the customer, so testing feedback come very early in the project, and it's about continuous improvement. So um, so the major idea is power of early delivery. So with Agile, we able to deliver small modules of the project quite early, so that we can take valuable feedback from the customer, we can incorporate that, and we can adjust our system as per the requirements. So being responsive to the change is the major objective we wish to achieve, and it help us to get this process of making quick delivery to the project. And in this agile methodology, we use some term called as Scrum and extreme programming. So what is Scrum? What is extreme programming? We will be discussing that in coming sessions and in coming discussions. So let's understand more deeply different phases of agile. So, so you can see that here, as I mentioned, for every 15 days, we start a workflow for that. So we break down the system into small pieces and we plan a sprint for that. So we called that 15-day as a one sprint. We plan it, we execute it, and we take daily stand up. Daily stand up mean that we take daily review, what we are going to build today, what we built yesterday, is there any problem yesterday, how we can handle that. So there are daily stand up meetings in this. So we keep on reviewing, we keep on retrospective, so that we can continuously improve on that. I hope this figure explain that point more uh, intuitive way. So you can see that we discovered the phases. So let's suppose we have to build a full-fledged website for Amazon. So let's start the breakdown and discover the aspect on which we will be working first. So you can say that, okay, let's for first 15 days work on login page. So discover something, what we are going to work. And then we design that login page, so that how it will look like. Then we develop the login page, and then we deliver it to the customer. So we say that, okay, we have designed the login page. You can see that, you can give our feedback. If it is not good, you can send us the feedback. If everything is okay, then we will move to the second phase. So then we will say that, let's add products. So in second phase, we will add products. So we design the system for adding the product, providing the description and everything. So that is second iteration. So let's suppose we add the products. In third phase, we can say that, okay, now in next 15 days, we will add a payment mechanism. So we discover a task, we design payment mechanism, the architecture for building that payment system, we develop it, and we deliver it. So you can see that after, in first 15 days, we will able to just consider it as a layman example. So after first 15 days, you will able to deliver login page. After another 15 day, you will able to deliver your catalog management, and after another 15 day, you will able to add payment module. So you keep on adding the features to your software and you keep on evolving. So I hope you got my idea that this is agile methodology, and you can compare this with waterfall model, where we working on designing the whole Amazon application in couple of months, and we will deliver the product only at the end. And you can say that during testing, the user can say that, oh, I don't like this login page, I don't like that you can say product catalog, or I don't design like this payment mechanism. So you can see that. So here it's very easy to evolve the system, it's very easy to handle that system. So this is the agile methodology. And in this we work on one module, then we add something, then we add something. So we keep on adding, we keep on evolving the system, and that is the agile development process. So
Excuse me,
for
sir.
every, yeah, please.
Uh, Sir, I think here the main requirement to begin is to identify the independent modules throughout the project so that we can and then define the sequence. Like first you said login page, we can identify these are the independent tasks or small activities of the project so that we can plan them in sequential order and then we can deliver them one at one time. Is it true, sir?
Uh, it's not exactly completely independent. Let's suppose I'm talking about a payment mechanism. So payment mechanism may involve five kind of payments. So of course you can say that let's add credit card and debit card in these 15 days. So in next 15 days we will add UPI payments. In next 15 days we will add the feature of you can say you payment cash on delivery. So you can see that it's still a payment module on which we are working, but we are dividing the task. Of course it should be independent, it should be it should be evolvable so that you can evolve with time, but it is not that completely independent that one having no uh,
Relation with
connection
the
with the other.
yeah,
So all,
sure.
so I hope you got my point. So
Got it, sir. Thank
yeah, yeah. So we are building a full feature, full system in a step-by-step way. So let's suppose you are handling admission. So you will say that let's only work on this branch first year for this. Next, you add another branch. Next, you add another branch. So you keep on adding the features, and you are keep on taking the requirements. And I hope that you'll be able to appreciate that it helps us to target our client in a better way. So, for example, in first 15 days, we only need to evolve, connect with those clients which are responsible with login, or which are responsible with catalog, or those are dealing with payment. So you can take direct feedback. So otherwise, if you are building the project in the end and delivering it, so then there are a lot of teams are involved. Everyone is giving their feedback. So it is very tough to manage all the requests which are coming after the delivery, but here it's very smooth and clean way of delivering the project.
definitely, sir. Definitely. And delivery is much faster. Definitely, sir.
Yeah, yeah. So here I try to explain the importance of building in the small batches with some example. I hope that this intuitive example help you to understand that point. So let's suppose we have a brochures, our university brochures, and we have to deliver it to various addresses. So in order to post the brochures, there are four steps which we have to follow. First, we have to fold the brochures, we have to insert the brochures into the envelopes, we have to seal it, and then we have to stamp the envelope with the postage. So let's suppose there are four steps which we have to follow in order to deliver the brochures to various addresses. So fold the brochures, insert, seal it, stamp it. Let's suppose we built all those brochures. There are 1,000 brochures which we have to send, and we built a batch of 50, large batch of 50 brochures. So my point is that for all those 50 batches, we first perform the folding process. So we fold 50 batches in step one. Then once we complete step two, we fold, we insert those 50 in the envelopes. In third step, we add the seals, and in fourth step, we add the stamp. Now let's suppose there is a problem. Let's suppose there is a problem in our envelope, and our envelope is not having the glue, so that we can close it properly. So let's understand what is the total time it will take to identify that problem. So there is a problem in our envelope, that there is a no glue. I hope you got my point. So I'm taking a case where our envelope has no glue, and we have to identify that problem with this approach. So here we are first holding the all 50 batches, and let's suppose it is taking 5 minutes, and then we spend 5 minutes on insertion, then we spend 5 minutes on 50 brochures to seal it, and then we start with the stamping process. So you see that our stamping process is started after 16th of 15 minute. So first 5 minute folding, first 5, then 10 for insertion, 15 on sealing. So we actually start stamping at 16th minute, and at this point we came to know that, oh, our envelope has no glue, but we have already inserted everything on those brochures in those envelopes. So you can understand that we have to repeat, or everything is just go wasted, and 16-minute work is just go wasted. So let's suppose instead of doing the batches of 50, let's understand we do this for one piece by piece. So we took first piece, it just take, let's suppose, 6 seconds, then we fold it, then we insert it, then we paste it. So you see that after 24th seconds, we are at a stage for pasting or closing and adding the glue. And after 24 seconds, we will able to identify the problems. So my point is that if you work on a batch of 50, you will able to identify the problem only after 16th minute. But here you will able to identify the problem just on 24th second, because let's suppose every task is just taking 6 seconds to insert, fold, and all those. So of course, after 24 second, you will able to identify, oh, there is a problem. So you will take a new envelope, or you go to market and collect some new envelope. So those time will not wasted. So I hope that this give you an idea that when we work on small pieces, it gives us lot more flexibility. We able to identify the problems very much quickly, and we able to respond fast. So agile is about responding fast to the changes, and it help us to uh, more efficient and flexibility in our system. And here, I'm just going to touch a very important term that is called as minimum viable product. Can anybody tell me what this term means at this point in term of agile? Minimum viable product. So you can read the text, and based on that, you can try to understand what that mean maybe. So yeah, anyone who want to address this problem, what is minimum viable product from your point of view in concept of agile?
Sir, when the features are less and the software are in software are in starter
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for your response. Yeah. Hardik, you can ask. Yeah. You can respond.
Sir, as far as my understanding of MVP, it is the basic product that you can build with the basic requirements led by the company or led by the user.
Mm. So you can understand in a more simple way from this diagram. So minimum viable product is that product which we may able to release after just first iteration. I told you that this work in iterations. So you start with that, you design something, develop something, and deliver something. So that is the first delivery. So when you deliver the first product, it just maybe after first sprint is complete, maybe or 2 weeks or 8 weeks. So that product, when it is given to the customer, that is minimum viable product, and you keep on adding. So I told you that in that case, minimum in my example of Amazon, can you tell me what is the minimum viable product in my example, where I talk about adding the login page, then catalog management, then payment management. So what is the minimum viable product which we given to the customer in that case? Yeah, so it's the login page. So login page is the minimum viable product. We deliver it, and we ask for the feedback,
and then we deliver the second catalog management, then we take the feedback. So I hope you got my point, that this the outcome of first iteration, or sometime in order to deploy we may take 2 or 3 iterations. It is not, it may not be possible to complete the full module in just one iteration. It may require 2 or 3 sprints to deliver it. But you can see that the output after first uh, iteration, when you deploy it, that will be considered as minimum viable product. So minimum viable product is about not about the final product, but it just involve the testing some specific idea or features. So this focus on learning and adaptation rather than delivering the full product. So we are not focusing on delivering the full product. We focus more on getting the quick feedback, and that give you an idea that what is the minimum viable product. So this is the central to Agile. It is the simplest version of a product that can be released to gather user feedback. So I hope you got my point. So simplest version of a product. So I can say that let's only deliver login page first, uh, and then you can take some feedback on that. So that is minimum viable product in this example. But yeah, you can consider multiple scenarios for minimum viable product. So with this discussion, I'm just concluding at that waterfall actually follow a strict phase by phase process. First, we analyze, then we plan, design, build, test, and it is a waterfall. It's not possible to move from testing to plan. It's very rigorous, it's very costly. But here you can see that we analyze, plan, then design, build, test, and deploy. So I hope that this diagram explain a lot of stuff. So we analyze and plan for 15 days, then we design, build, test, and deploy it. We take the feedback from the customer. Then for next 15 days, we perform it. And yeah, so Pami, yeah, you can ask the question if you have any. Pami, you can unmute yourself and you can ask the question at this point. So anyway, I hope that this figure explain that point, that we perform these steps in iteration. So Agile is about iterating and building everything in a step-by-step way and delivering the product. So when you deploy it, that is first minimum viable product, which we will be delivering to our customer for taking the feedback. So
Pratik,
now,
I have one question.
yeah, please.
So what do you think, like how we can decide that the iteration length should be? Industrially standard it's 2 weeks, but how we decide like whether it is a 2 or 3 or 4 weeks? And
So
can we extend our MVP, like we can deliver our MVP in one sprint, or we can extend it to the next sprint as well?
yeah, so ideally, it is recommended to have something deliverable after every 15 days of time. But yeah, we can delay it based on our project. So yeah, I mean, normally after 2 sprints, we wish to deploy or deliver something. So quick delivery is the base idea, and of course, it depend upon company to company. So there, so recommended is minimum 2 weeks, maximum 8 weeks. So within 2 to 8 weeks, company follow different approach, what suits to them based on their project size and so on. So yeah, this is just a guideline that this is an iterative process and it varies from 2 to 8 weeks. And yeah, deployment can be from just after first iteration, it can be delayed to 2 or 3 iterations. Yeah. So at this point, I hope that you can now able to appreciate the problem of you will able to appreciate how complex the delivery process may be, because now you are saying that you have to deploy the system after every 15 days, you have to deliver something after every 15 days, and you keep on changing the system. You say that, I say that I will only first add credit card in first 15 days. After another 15 days, I will work on cash on delivery, then I work on UPI ID. But ultimately this is a payment module. So I keep on adding, so I keep on generating the versions of my software. First version, then after another 15 days there is version 2, after another 15 days there is the version 3. So there are a lot of versions
for the software which are going on in the system. So it's very important we should have some kind of tools with us which help us for version control. And in order to help us in the version control, we have a tool which is called as Git and GitHub. So I hope now we have a perfect point to launch our discussion on Git and GitHub after this discussion on this point. So my point is that Agile is all about flexibility. Agile is all about making a lot of versions of the product, because after every 15 days we are delivering something to our customer. So we require a version control. Version control mean that what we deliver after 15 days, then we add something to that. And there are multiple teams working on the system. We require some integration after every 15 days. So it is not like that we are working on one phase and then we are moving to second phase, then we are moving to third phase. Here everything is uh, very you can say very active, and there are a lot of active changes. So we require some version control, that what we built, what we deliver in the last time, what we have added, and how the code has been evolved with the time. So we should able to track all the changes in the code, and that is the version control. So GitHub and Git is a tool which help us in the version control and collaboration, because the flexibility is the key. So we require a lot of collaboration process, and we require a tool which help us to complete the project effectively. So in the whole software industry, we are using Git and GitHub for building those projects, and it help us to work in teams. So let's suppose you are building a capstone project which involve 4 students. So every student can work independently, can make their own module, then we can integrate, then we can deploy it. So how all these things work, that is the objective of our first phase of workshop. And I hope that you got a basic key idea that why we are discussing Git and GitHub. It help us to deliver and deploy the project quickly after every 15 days, after every sprint. And we need something for version control. So version control is about tracking the changes of your source code. And this make GitHub make it easy for that, because you can recover to the older versions, and if there is some mistake you can roll back to that. So it simplify the collaborations with the team members. So that is the basic skills. So this is the essential skills for software development careers. So this is the reason that why we have started this workshop, because we wish that all those budding software engineers like you should able to understand the importance of GitHub, and you can add that skill set into your CV, so that you should be industry ready once you complete that particular workshop. So, uh, so basically, you can understand that when we have a large product, we need a way to track and control the source code updates. So it helps us to automate that stuff. We take the example of Linux. You know that Linux is completely built from open source effort. Everyone is working throughout the world on a operating system. So everyone is making that changes. So you can understand that how they are maintaining that particular software, because it is open source. Everyone can make changes in the source code. So how they are managing the things. So that is the basic idea you can keep in your mind. Whenever we discuss GitHub, you can think of that we are building a operating system like Linux, and the users can make changes in that code all over the world, and how we can maintain that. So that help us to understand this particular workflow in a better way. So I always keep that point in my mind, and I request everyone to keep that point in mind, that how we can handle a very large product like building operating system through open source, how we can maintain version control, how different people are able to work independently, then integrate the stuff, and so on. So it's all about helping in a non-linear development. So Waterfall is about linear development. Here it is a non-linear development. So how we can handle that, we will be discussing that. And version control help us to track the changes, recover to older version, and it facilitate the collaborations. So I hope that you can understand this from another example. Let's suppose This is the person who has to go to the grocery stores to purchase some product. And these are the roommates which are staying together. So every roommate is making his or her own list. Someone is adding a product, someone is removing the product. So it is very difficult to finalize the final list. So if you have a version control, a centralized system, then we can integrate all the versions together, and we can clearly know that what product we have to buy, because on various requirements or various actions from all the roommates. Someone is saying he required milk, soya milk. Another one is saying eggs. Someone is adding product. Someone is removing the product. So what is the final product? We have to follow the version, and based on that, we have to prepare the final list. So Git is actually a platform, and GitHub is for visual interface, which help us to perform all the stuff. So this Git has a major feature of branching. It has a graphical user interface in term of GitHub, and in order to continuous delivery of product, we also have GitLab. So we will be discussing these three aspects in detail, and in this session I will focus more on GitHub, that is a web interface of Git. So let's start with that. And in today's session, we have 10:24 at my point. So we will spend another 20-15 minutes on the demonstration of the GitHub, so that we can learn how we can create the repository. So repository actually contains your project folders that are set up for version control. So let's move to practical aspect. So here, yeah, if you have any question at this point before starting our demo, you can ask me any question. Yeah, please. Yeah, if you have any question, please feel free to ask. Yeah, you can unmute.
So, uh, in VS Code, we can also create repository directly. So, why we are using the website of GitHub to create?
So this web interface actually more user friendly, you can say. So we have both the things. We can manage it through command interface, and we can also manage it through web interface. So we have corresponding commands to create repository and merge the different branches or create the branches. So we will be discussing both the aspect, command based as well as graphical user interface. So here we are starting with a one basic web interface. So I recommend everyone to just visit GitHub and follow the basic steps to create the account on that. So once your account is ready, it will look like this. So I'm not going in detail about how to create the account. If you are completely new to that, I will be sharing the lab manuals with you. You just need to follow the step-by-step approach, and that lab manual will help you to create the first GitHub account. So it's all about GitHub sign up and create repo. So I'm directly starting with creating repo with this, and this is the lab manual which I will be sharing with all of you. You just need to follow all the step-by-step steps which is mentioned in this. This is very simple. I have specially created this uh, uh, for for this workshop. So I hope it will be very convenient to replicate all the steps. So I'm starting with this by assuming that we already have an account, and you just watch the demo for a couple of minutes, and then that will be your homework. If you already know, it's fine. But if you are completely new to GitHub, that will be your homework to replicate all the steps. And don't worry, I will be sharing these PDF files on WhatsApp group so that you can just follow all the steps which I have mentioned in this. So let's come here on this web interface. So you see there are some repositories which are there. I'm going to work on a repository. Let me start from scratch. Okay, so
here I'm just deleting my repository, which I have created for just for practice before your session, so that I can do it from scratch. Okay, so let's start. So first step will be like this. So this is your home page. It will look like this, and you see there is a button called as new. Let me increase this size a little bit. So this is new. So you need to click on that, and it will be asking you for a repo name. So I will go and just tell you how to follow this PDF file. So this is the same step what I have mentioned here, and we just need to specify the name of repository, which is test repo. So let's go there and specify that. So this is test repo, and this name is available. It check for the name, and it is public, and I can click add a README file, and you just need to create repository. So let's click on that. You see that a repository has been created with the name test repo, and this is the README file which we have created. So you can edit it. So this is the file, README file, which I have created in this repo. So let's go back. So it simply say that create a test repo, public, and create repository. So we have performed that step. Now it is the time to edit it. So create and edit a file. So in order to edit the file, it's simply there is a edit button. So you can click edit button to edit README file, and you can make any changes in that. So let's go back and add something in this. So this is my file. So I can type, let's suppose this is my first file. So I have added some changes in that, and you can see that there is a commit changes. So once you write commit changes, all the changes will be committed, and every commit will get a name, and it stored the timeline for that. So commit message is update README file. You can add some more description that why I am adding that changes in this file. And here, everything is stored in the main branch. I will discuss branch concept little bit later, but yeah, I'm saying that commit that changes. So you see here in test repo, I have this README file, and if you can see that this is my first file. So this is what is written in this README file. So we have we know how to edit it, and then we have committed the changes. So this is what we have learned so far. So I just performed commit changes, added it, and confirmed it. Now it says create a new file. So how to create a new file? So it says that uh, you can go to a file and create new file, and then we can specify the name, and let's see how to add that particular a new file in this repository. So I'm going to add this Python file. So let's go here again, and it says so there is a plus button, and it says create new file. So again, I'm repeating, it is main branch, and in this I'm creating a new file. Just click here. You can give the name of file. I say that this is first Python dot this. In this, I'm just writing a print statement which say that my first Python file. So this, let's suppose you write the code for one file, and you can again make changes. So it say that you are committing the changes with the message create first Python file. So it will keep track of all the changes made in that file, and commit changes. It will save. And now you can see that in this I have two files. One is README file, which is updated 1 minute ago, and this first Python, which is just updated now. And even we can add, upload any files from this. So let's go back here, test repo, and click this. So you can also upload a file.
So let's check that option, upload file, choose your file from your machine. And let's suppose I choose this file. You can also upload that file from this. And there is again a message, and you can commit changes. So here I have just created a repo with three files. One is the README file, which I have shown you, and then added it. That this is the new Python file which I have created, and then this is the third file. So mean that all the project file will be stored in this, and everything is stored in a main branch. So this is the main branch which store all the files, and in this main branch I have stored three files. Now let's suppose you add you join this project, and you wish to add a new feature to that project. So try to understand that situation. So there is a project with name test repo. There are already three files in this project, and now you join this as a trainee in that project, and you ask to design a new Python file for that. Now, as a trainee, you will not allowed to make changes in the main file, or not as a trainee, any developer who wish to work on a particular project, he will just create a child branch, and in that child branch we will able to work on a particular feature. So at present, this is the main branch which I always want neat, clean, and tested. So let's suppose this is neat, clean, and tested main branch. Now you wish to add another feature to that. So in order to work on this project, which has three files, and you wish to add another feature, you are not allowed to make changes in the main branch directly. So normally what we do, we create a child branch, and we work on the child branch and make all the changes in the child branch. So uh, I'm going to explain you now how we can create child branch. So that concept is called as branching, so and merging. So we have completed first lab, and now we are moving to second lab, which is about branching and merging. So as I told you that whenever you join this project, you wish that you want to make changes in the branch, so that that main branch should always keep intact. So let's do this process so that we can understand how to create a branch. So it says that at present we have the main branch. You can understand that. And now we wish to have another branch called as child. So let's select it. So we wish to now create child underscore branch. So at present we have only main branch. And as I mentioned you, we don't want to make any changes directly in this main branch. So if you are join this project, your first step will be to create a child branch. So you will say new branch. So you will give the name of the branch. So let's suppose it is child branch, and you will write create new branch. So after this, you can see that there are two branches. So one is now main branch, and another is child branch. If you click on child branch, you can see all the files are there. So you see there are now two branches, and in child branch we have all the three basic files which are there in the project. So now your project, all the files are available to you in child branch, and of course you can add now your version or your code in that. So let's suppose you wish to add another Python file in this. You wish to write another Python file. So all the code you will be writing in the child branch. You will not touch main branch. So in this child branch, let's understand how to add another step. So we now move to the second step, where we will be adding a file to the branch. And this is very simple. And let me select this name. So we will be adding another file in this child branch. So you see, this is my child underscore branch. There are three files, and as I mentioned, I wish to add another file. So you can give the name of your file. It make that you are adding that file in child branch. Let's add print. And in this, you will write your own version. So this is my code. So the feature which you wish to add, you will write the code for that feature here, and you can make commit changes. So it make all the changes message, you can give that. So now at this point, just pause. So you see all the versions are there. It stored that when these things are created. So all these things 5 minutes, 7 minutes ago, and this is now child test child.py. And you see this file is added in this child branch. So you can click here and you see this is what I have added. And if you go in the main branch, this will be interesting. So if you go in the main branch, you see there are only 3 files. So main branch is not affected by my new work. So main branch is still intact. And what I'm doing as a trainee, I'm adding my code in this child branch, and I have added a testchild.py file. I hope you got my point. So you will be adding your code here, and you add one file. Now, the next question is you write the code, and now it is the time to push that changes into your main file. So there will be a program manager, and there will be a programmer. So let's suppose I am a programmer, which I joined. So my first step will be to create a branch, add my code. So I will add my code, and then I send the request to the manager that, okay, look my code. And if that code looks okay to you, you can merge that in the main branch. So let's discuss that now. So first, here we have added a new file, and then it is a time to pull the request. So we will use that. I will use the term pull request. What it means, once you are ready with your code, you will submit the request to your manager that, okay, I have done my code. You can review it, and if you like that, you can merge that with your main branch. Of course, he can test it, and once he's satisfied, he can add that into the main branch. So as a programmer, what I will be doing, so I should be in my child branch, and I will say compare and pull request. So I issue the pull request. So here I will add that I have created this file, and you can add a description. Please check and test this, and you can create pull request. So what point is that? My point is that once you are done with your code, you will say that this child branch will be now sent to the main branch, and I'm merging it, and I will say that create a pull request. So I submitted a pull request to my manager, and you see that uh, this has no conflict. So automatically it tests the version. And if you see here now, so I have submitted my request to the manager that um, that pull request is there for you, and you can review the code. So if you go here at pull request, so as soon as I have submitted the pull request, you see one has been added here, and you can click on that, and it shows that yes, there is a pull request which is created for this test child py. So manager can review it, and he can open that, and he can read my code. He can check my message, and if everything look good, so he can merge it with the main file. So just a minute. Yeah. So he can merge it with the main file. So merge pull request. So manager confirm that everything is okay. Confirm merge. So can you tell me what will happen after merging? So merging means that all these changes should be reflected in my main branch. So it is now merged, and you see that these are now in sync, and you can go back, and you see in the main branch, I now have 4 files. And this test child, which programmer has added, now is reflected in the main branch. So programmer will review the code. If everything look good, so programmer can approve that. that will be reflected in the pull request. And once you approve that, it will be reflected in the main branch. So at this time, my child branch and main branch both are sync. In child branch, I have 4 files. In main branch, I have again 4 files. So the code from first, everything is written in the child branch. Then I submit the request. Manager review the request. If everything look good to the manager, manager simple approve that, and it will be merged to the main. So once it is merged, then I can go to child branch, and even you can delete that particular branch because now it is not required, or you can keep on based on your requirement. But the point is that I think you should able to appreciate that once as a programmer you make the changes, you will issue the pull request, and that pull request will go to your manager, and it shows that we are comparing this. It list all the changes and create the pull request. Then it is the manager who will uh, review it, and it is reflected in the pull request, and he will able to merge it to the main branch. And once you merge it, all those changes will be reflected in the main branch. And after this, you can see that in main branch, there should be 4 files. And this is our lab number 2, which I wish to discuss with you. So yeah, these are 2 tasks for this week, that you will be creating a new repo, that is test repo. And in this, I will be sharing all those PDF files. You just need to repeat all those steps. If you are getting any problem, feel free to share your problems on our WhatsApp group. So the purpose of WhatsApp group is to keep a communication among the community, and I will request each one of you to help each other so that everyone can perform the required task. And if you have any question at this point, yeah, you can unmute yourself and you can ask the question.
So just one thing, I think I can question and I can answer also because there were a few questions. Like it is being broadcast on YouTube live at this time. So few participants are watching this live on YouTube because some people were asking for recording lectures. So any students, if you are there, so this is live on YouTube. It will be there after this session. You can go back and check the recordings on YouTube. That will be there.
Thank you, Kapilji, for helping me. Yeah, thank you. God bless you.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. If you have any question,
Sir,
yeah.
sir, when I use GitHub in GUI model, I find a problem to upload upload a repo. When uh, when I want to create a repo, they only allow me to upload a file, not a folder. But that problem solved in a CLI. So how can I do this in a GUI model?
So actually, we can't, I think, directly upload the folder. We have to create the folder, and then you can upload all the files in the folder on a step-by-step basis. So yeah, it follow a rigorous step by that. But yeah, you can do it step by step. You can first mention that you want to create the folder, and then we can add the file. So I think I will discuss that in our next session. And of course, I will take your point on that, and we will demonstrate that how we can create the folders and how we can add those files in that. But yeah, it is possible, but it will not directly just uploading it, but we can create by giving all those path in that. Yeah. Any other questions? So I also have created a informal quiz for all of you. So yeah, just give me a minute to open that quiz. That will be a fun to go with that, so that we can confirm the understanding. Just give me a minute to open this. Okay, yeah. So I have prepared a informal quiz to all of you, and I recommend everyone to join this quiz on Mentimeter. So it is there. When you open, you just need to write menti.com. And once you write that, it will ask for a code. And the code is this, which is mentioned on the screen. So I will also share that code on your chat. Let me write this, everyone.
So you can directly click on this, or you can. Yeah, so I'm waiting for your responses. Yeah, please. I request everyone to vote for this. So the primary purpose of creating a child branch in GitHub. Okay, everyone answered it correctly. Okay, let's move to next slide. Just give me a minute. Okay, so let's see what we have. So let's move to next question. So yeah, so second is the correct options. Let's move to next question. So let's check the answer. Yeah, most of you answered it correctly. This is the last question. Good. Everyone answered it correctly. I'm not able to show the winners in this. Anyway, I made some mistake. Okay, so this is all about this session, and I hope you able to learn something in this session. But yeah, in the end, if you have any questions, please unmute, and you can share your feedback, and you can also discuss how we can make it a little bit more better if you have any suggestions. So I'm very open to that. Yeah, please. Now the floor is open to you.
Is my voice audible?
Yeah, of course. Right.
I want to ask if there are any real world example of softwares that use the waterfall model.
Yeah, of course. So we use waterfall approach. Still, we use waterfall approach where we follow the strict linear way of arrangement. So for those projects which are little bit more structured and they follow linear approach, we still go with those projects. But yeah, most of the time now we are moving towards agile process. But you see that when we normally build the project, sometimes we still use the smaller project in case of waterfall approach because it is more simple, intuitive. But if the project is very time constrained with a lot of competition in the market, so now most of startup and most of things basically go with this agile development. So that's why it is very hot topic these days, agile and DevOps. So DevOps is actually all based on this agile development platform.
But don't the GitHub supports the waterfall project?
Yeah, of course, it's supported. You can follow it because it is all about version control. But try to understand that it is about delivering the project more quickly to the user. So and testing it more early and deliver it early and to deliver something to the customer to take that feedback. So it's important to understand the intuitive uh, advantage of using agile development process. So that's why industry is moving towards agile DevOps, and DevOps is all about agile process.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Any other question?
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, my name is Narinder Singh, sir. I'm preparing for, sir, data-related role, sir. So, sir, how can I build my domain knowledge, sir, in these particular things, sir? GitHub, version control, DevOps.
So I hope that this workshop will give you enough idea how all these concept is, and I hope after the end of this workshop you will have mastery of these concepts. So our idea is to give you clear idea. So it's not about just giving you intro. We will touch in detail about various aspect, and I hope that you will have a working knowledge after this.
Sure, sir, sure. And, sir, how can we connect with you, sir, further, sir, even after the workshop?
Yeah, I have shared my WhatsApp. We have created a WhatsApp group. So yeah, everyone is there on that WhatsApp group. So yeah, of course, we will be in touch on that group.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much.
Hi, Pratik. Manish this side.
Right.
Hello. Hi.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, I just wanted to know about the transition because I'm into networking and security. I have almost like 8, 9 years of experience into that infrastructure side. So I'm looking, means my project looks into something into DevOps side. So how I can means like move into that? Like, is it like
So
equivalent to that, like moving from infrastructure to DevOps?
yeah, actually, we try to simplify the development process. Just give me a minute. So it's all about simplifying the delivery process. So when we discuss DevOps, we will discuss in detail about the delivery mechanism. So it's not only about
Yeah.
developing the version control, but it's also about how we can quickly deploy it. So I hope that uh, after third session, you will have clear idea what we are talking
Okay.
about in terms of Docker and image, and then you will able to appreciate, I think, from infrastructure point of view that how we are able to integrate those applications very effectively.
Because I'm not that good into programming, so just wanted to bit curious about like how I can transition from this to that. That is what.
I hope that after the end of this workshop, you will have clear idea that what
Yeah,
are the capabilities it have, and this is just a beginning. And after
yeah,
third session, I hope you will have very good picture.
yeah. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Any other question? I can take two more questions.
Sir, can you recommend some excellent projects also, sir, in this domain, sir? So
Yes,
that we
of
can build a.
Yeah. So we will be sharing some good resources with you where you can practice it, the version control, merging, cloning, everything, along with some base code. So yeah, we will be doing that. Is
Sure, sir.
Rahat is here? No, he's not here. Okay. Yeah. Anyone else? So thank you everyone, and I request everyone to please keep on joining this session because the success of this workshop is only dependent on your participation. So it's very important to keep on joining. Please don't drop your participation rate. I always look that we should have 100 plus in each session, and please I will keep you on reminding about joining those session, and please keep on joining and also help each other over the community to discuss. I know that some of you are expert in this, you are just already doing a lot of work in GitHub, so please share your knowledge, please share your resources so that everyone can learn from each other. So it's not it should not be only one way of communication, and I request everyone to please support each other's learning over this WhatsApp platform, and share your knowledge so that everyone can learn from your experience. So it's all about learning together. And yeah, together we can make the difference. So I request soon after this, I will be sharing both lab exercises with each one of you. And I recommend everyone to implement all those steps completely from beginning to end. And if you stuck anywhere, please don't hesitate. Just take the snapshot and post it over WhatsApp group. We will help you to solve that. And our objective is that before the next session, everyone should able to create repository. Everyone should able to uh, add some files in the branch, create a child branch, merging, pull requests. So all the things which we discussed, you should able to implement that. And I will also share my presentation to revise those concepts which we discussed in this session. Thanks for joining this session. God bless to all of you. And please keep on joining. That is very important for me. This is the only motivation for these sessions. So please keep on joining. And I will see you next week at the same time. God bless you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir.
Thank you, Prateek. Thanks a lot. See you. Bye. Cheers.
Thank you, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, please.
Feedback.